Happy Valentine's Day and welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Thursday, February 14th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Every once in a while, I read stories online about these people who are big game hunters that like to travel around the world for these exotic hunting missions. And I'm not sure if the analogy exactly fits, but classic physique star Coronel Parra is doing the bodybuilding equivalent of loading up his rifle right about now. On Tuesday, Team Opara released one of their final pre-show updates, 18 days out from the big dance, that shows the third-year pro looking pretty damn close to his all-time best. This guy finished 4th at last year's Arnold in a lineup that featured an unstoppable force in Brian Ansley, but with no clear-cut alpha sitting at the top. The window of opportunity is there for someone like Courage to step in and seize the moment. We're in a weird social media time in the fitness industry now, where we see athletes who still don't seem to get the fact that the way to build your brand is to get yourself out there to create focused engagement with your fans as much as possible. But thankfully for us, figure all-star Brittany Campbell understands the new rules of the game. A few days ago, the three-time Olympian released a clip of her new behind-the-scenes check-ins with the NBC News Online, where we catch her putting the final pieces in place to tighten up her presentation. Athlete for athlete, the figure division might have the most loaded roster in this entire show, but I still wouldn't put it past a 100% Brittany Campbell to be a top 5 finisher at the Arnold. Walking around feeling like you're bulletproof when you're 22 is one of those things that just comes with the territory. But when you're an elite athlete who has the body of a real-life superhero like bikini superstar Jennifer Dorie, now you're talking about being in uncharted territory. Despite the fact that she closed out her season as a top 10 ranked athlete, one of the hottest prospects in the bikini division has been putting in her fair share of long hours at the office so far this off-season. When you look at how fluid this bikini division can be from year to year, it doesn't take a huge stretch of the imagination to see an athlete with her talent making a huge jump up the ladder this season. And if she really does take the time to pick her spots right, she could set herself up to have a ton of momentum heading into some of the bigger shows on the second half of the schedule. Sometimes I think you have to be able to wake up, look yourself in the mirror and say, today it's me versus everyone else. For me, deadlift day was always one of those days, and I think it's pretty cool to see our old friend Bojana Vasiljevic taking on the same attitude now. One of the hardest working women in the business released a clip from a heavy pull session a few days ago that definitely caught the attention of a few people I've been talking with. For the better part of the last 3 years now, Bojana has been winning the battle against the off-season, and the fruits of that labor show up time and again in her placings. And depending on how things start to shape up over the first quarter of the season, she's someone who could end up surprising us a few months from now once we hit that midsummer stretch. Back in the day, I used to have this 5-speed 1991 Honda Accord LX that had brakes that were basically non-existent at one point. And looking at where bikini standout Ashley Janelle is right now, 2 weeks out from the Arnold, I almost feel like I did going downhill in that Honda. Either this is going to work out great, or there's going to be a huge collision somewhere pretty soon. Yesterday, the third-year pro put out another update that was probably her best yet, where she showed off some of the goods that made her into one of the most intriguing young prospects in the division last year. Stars are made on that bikini international stage, and Janelle definitely has star potential. But if she wants the gold and the glory, she has to learn how to seal the deal over the next 2 weeks if she wants to bring this bad boy home. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.